Hey everybody, good afternoon from Zwolle, the Netherlands, and welcome at our live stream where we're launching the 2026 new percussion ensemble publications. So I'm pretty excited to show you all the new stuff we've been working on the last couple of months, and I hope the audio is good and the video is good. Maybe there's someone who can let me know in the chat if he can hear me, because that's the main important thing for today, so everybody can hear me, and I think that's a main thing to follow the stream for today. We've got some perfects, we got some primas in the chat. Thanks a lot for chatting along, and I'm trying to do this stream in English for today because I'm expecting some international customers. So if it's no problem for the Dutch audience that I'm talking English today, I don't hope so. And of course, if there's an opportunity and it's necessary, I can explain some things in Dutch as well. So that will be no problem. The audio is okay. I'm going to tell you first what we're going to do today. Of course, we're going to listen to a couple of new percussion ensembles that have been published over the last few months, and somewhere in between I have an interview with Bruce Salyers from Salyers Percussion about his Etude series, the affordable marimba mallets from Salyers Percussion, marimba mallets, vibraphone mallets, xylophone and glockenspiel mallets. And I think it's for everybody, it's important to stay until the end, because at the end we're raffling off a complete set of 8 mallets of the Etude series from Salyers Percussion. So stay tuned at the end for that. So that's halfway. We're doing the interview with Bruce Salyers, and then we're going along with some new tunes after that, and some interviews with educators and directors of the ensembles. And after that, I have a special launch offer ready for you, and if you want to get started with our time-saving practice tools right away, I have a great offer for you waiting. And after that, I'll be raffling off the mallets from Salyers Percussion. I have a box here already with everybody who signed up for the launch, so will be doing that at the end, raffling off a set of mallets from Salyers Percussion. And if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to ask your question in the chat. It can be in Dutch as well. So, and I don't know if I'm answering them all immediately, but I will take some time at the end of this launch party to answer all your questions in a short Q&A. So that's about the program for today. I'm pretty excited to announce a new composer today. He's been in one of my percussion ensembles, and he's with the Marines now. He's a drummer in the 5 and drum corps of the Dutch Marines. His name is Shawn van de Wetering, and as I told you, he played in one of my percussion ensembles, and he's a composer now. And the coincidence is that he's getting married this weekend, so he didn't have time to show up for the live stream to tell us something about his new composition, but we're going to play it anyway. The title of his composition is Flight of the Hummingbird, and here's Flight of the Hummingbird by Shawn van de Wetering. Enjoy! that was the premiere of Flight of the Hummingbird by Gerson van der Wetering from Oldebroek, the Netherlands. I hope you like it. As he told me, it's like a typical piece to open a concert, a short 2-minute statement to open a concert, and and he promised me that he will tell me more about his piece, and maybe there will be some interview with him about his music after this launch, but that for later on. The second piece I would like to introduce to you is a piece I wrote myself, and it's actually just not just one piece, but it's my Happy Birthday variations. And I made those like for developing percussion ensembles, beginning percussion ensembles, to get them introduced to different time signatures and different musical styles. As you know, the original Happy Birthday song is in a waltz version, and that's actually the first variation, and it's in the key of C. And then every other new variation has a new key signature. So it starts in F and G, and there's also 2 versions in D and B flat. So kids are learning about different key signatures with a easy song. With a song everybody knows, and they also learn about different musical styles. And that's the idea about my Happy Birthday variations. And today I only want to listen with you to the second version I made, and that's a more Latin-oriented salsa version of Happy Birthday to You. Enjoy. Of course, these Happy Birthday variations are a great opportunity to celebrate birthday of your percussion ensemble members as well. And I don't know if you saw it, but in the middle of the score there's a marimba 1 and a marimba 2 part, and these are both written that they could be played by one marimba player as well if he wants to start, he or she wants to start with playing with 3 or 4 mallets. So another educational opportunity to start working with my Happy Birthday variations. Okay, cool. That's the Happy Birthday variations. We're continuing with a song I wrote. An arrangement I wrote, I think last summer, with the idea in mind to have it played by the percussion ensemble I visited in May in Iowa in the United States. They're the percussionists from the Mid-Prairie home school, and I've been there and do some rehearsals and a small concert with them. So I've been talking with the director, my friend Shawn Sandersfeld, and broadcasting an interview after the record of the piece with him, and we've been talking about my joy to transform classical music into something completely different. And that's what I did with this new title. It's called John's Soca, and it's a famous Johann Sebastian Bach title. So enjoy just a little piece of the Mid Prairie Homeschool Percussion Ensemble from Iowa. Started rehearsing a couple of weeks ago on the piece, and they managed to make a short video. So I'm going to play that short video for now, and afterwards I'm showing the whole score play video I made of John's Soca.
1, 2, ready, go.
Hey Shawn, welcome to our official launch of the 2026 Percussion Ensemble pieces. We just saw the video of your students playing the piece. Before I sent it to you, I was thinking, is it suitable for middle school students? Because I didn't even realize if they are learning to play in cut time in middle school already.
Yeah, no, I think entirely appropriate. And thanks for having me, by the way, here, and thanks for sending the piece. Some of the kids have played that piece on piano. It's such a famous melody, and so I think it's in a lot of piano books. So the melody was familiar to me right off the bat. And with cut time pieces for middle school, we'll start them off in 4/4 and then speed it up and then try to make that transition in their minds to, hey, this is what cut time is and all that. But for us with your piece, we just started it in 4/4, and because the drummer had his part down ahead of time, it just worked really well right off the bat.
What do you think of the way I transformed this famous theme into a groovy soca tune? Would Beethoven turn in his grave if he heard this?
And those guys would totally love what you're doing with their melodies.
You just mentioned it a couple of seconds ago. You told me earlier that you sent a drum set practice track to the drum set player before the first rehearsal, so he knew the groove and before anyone else. And you also told me you practically played the complete song during the first rehearsal because of he knew the groove.
He came into the first rehearsal and he had that groove all figured out. And my initial thought the first rehearsal was, because nobody else had seen the music ahead of time or had the recording in this instance. And
Hmm.
so my thought was, well, we'll get it started and we'll do about 8 bars or whatever and all that. Well, that first rehearsal, because he had his drum set part down, we played through the whole song.
And when you sent the other practice tracks to the other players after that rehearsal, what happened then?
Yeah, well, the kids, we've listened to the piece a few times, and a lot of the kids don't have the capability at home, like they don't have the mallet instruments at home and all that. And you and I have talked before that even just listening to the piece, if they'll listen to the piece, and I've done this with some of your other pieces that we've worked on too. Hey, I'm sending this home to you. Listen to it. You know, you've got a mallet part, and I know you don't have a marimba at home, but if you'll just listen to it, just even that is so beneficial. Those teaching aids are just so helpful for kids. Now, I don't know if the drum set player, I don't think he needed to slow down the track. I know you've got the software and the capability to do that. I think for him, he was able to pick it up right away. But just to have that option available for kids, especially since that's a faster piece, if kids need to slow things down, and I think they have the capabilities of looping things as well, right? Like if there's a
Hmm.
2 bar pattern, that's trouble. You can loop it and slow it down. Just any of those things that just can help kids figure things out quicker. That kind of stuff is really helpful. And I know you've talked about it before that it just allows the director to get to the music and making music out of things, out of these pieces quicker rather than spending our whole time learning notes and rhythms.
Thanks a lot for being here today, and we'll see each other next time.
Great. Can I throw in one other thing?
Yeah.
And this is really, you will appreciate this, and I mentioned this to you in an email, but I had the classical radio on the other night,
Oh, yeah,
and
that was a fun story. Yeah.
our family everybody was listening to it, and one of our boys said, "Well, Dad, that's the New World Symphony." And I said, "Oh, wow, that's cool. How did you know that?" And he said, "Well, we did Dvorak's Bassa last spring," and he made that connection as opposed to here's the New World Symphony, and now we're going to do Dvorak's Bassa. It was kind of that in reverse order, which is I thought pretty cool, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool that he made that connection," which I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a cool story, and I think that's the whole point why I'm take those classical tunes and give them a different twist. So
Yep.
I'm getting them to know a little bit about classical music, mostly without even knowing that it is classical music.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's really cool because these kids they're learning about music, and that's really our ultimate goal, isn't it?
That was just a small part of the interview I did with my friend from Iowa, Shawn Sandersfeld, who also studied John Soca with his percussionist from the Mid Prairie Homeschool Percussion Ensemble. And That was a fun story about my other ensemble piece, Dvorak's Bossa. Um, so that was an interview we did like a couple of weeks ago in preparation of this, and I think we'll have a full video in the future of his ensemble playing my. Now I should say it correctly, my Bach arrangement, and not Beethoven. Okay. And now I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine from Indianapolis, who is a teacher, percussionist, and band director at the Harshman Middle School in Indianapolis. And I've been publishing some pieces of him before, and this time he wrote a piece called Weather the Storm, and he wrote it not for his own middle school percussion ensemble, but for a percussion ensemble which is formed by students from four different high schools in Indianapolis. And he called the piece Weather the Storm, and here's Daniel Dorsett's new percussion ensemble piece, Weather the Storm. Okay, everybody, we've been listening to "Weather the Storm" from the composer Daniel Dorsett from Indianapolis. Here he is. Daniel, welcome, and thanks for being in the show, and thanks for having a couple of minutes to talk about your composition. What's the reason you've been written the piece?
Yeah, this piece was originally written for the Indianapolis Public Schools Percussion Ensemble. It's a percussion ensemble here in Indianapolis that is a collection of multiple high schools in the district, and they all come together and play together. And so the big goal is really meeting the students where they are and continuing to help them grow. So I know those students pretty well because I worked with them for a few years, and they actually played your piece, Unlocked Energy, the year prior. A good idea of, okay, what can they do and what would be the next step in pushing them. And so that's where this piece came from, is this idea of let's give those students a little bit more of a push, but still very accessible.
So you just told us that the students are coming from different schools. And how many times a week, a month are you rehearsing on this project? And is it like how many schools are involved in the project?
Yeah, so there's 4 different public high schools throughout the city that come together for that project, and we rehearse a couple times a week, and it's for a pretty long season, a couple months, where then they go out and do different competitions. And so local high schools that are around the city host different invitationals, and they'll go and compete and whatnot. And so that's basically the scope of it, is a few months of rehearsal and then about a month of competitions throughout the city and state.
And when I got to see the piece for the first time, I found out that you wrote it in 2 contrasting key signatures. What's the idea behind those 2 key signatures?
Yeah, so the whole piece is called Weather the Storm. And you can hear it at the beginning, right? It starts kind of sprinkle with the mallet percussion, and then it builds and builds and builds into the storm. And the big contrast I wanted is almost like this shining light, this is something hopeful, versus the storm part. And yeah, you can't really get much more contrasting than those 2 key centers. So I wanted to try to make a challenge of how can we go from this thing that's big and stormy to bright and light.
Do you think, like, if kids are getting a specific track of their part only, and like a karaoke track without their part, would that be beneficial for the preparation process? And would it save rehearsal time for the ensemble rehearsals?
Oh, yeah, so much. As a director myself, one of the phrases that I hear is, Mr. Dorsett, how does it go?
Yeah.
They say, how does it go, Mr.? Okay, well, we've learned rhythms and we know how to read, but sometimes kids just need to know, how does it go? And I think those practice tracks are a perfect way to just be like, well, give a listen to the practice track, work with it, use it, and then that can tell you, oh, how does it go? Because I think that's, music, we hear music. And so to give that to the kids, to be able to hear it and be able to play along with it is just so helpful.
That was just a short part of the interview I had with Daniel Dorsett from Indianapolis. We'll maybe there's some more time left, another time to put the whole to introduce you to the whole interview, and maybe I'll take some time to get some snippets of it and put it on YouTube or social media later again. And it's contagious how he's talking about his composition. So that was Daniel Dorsett from Indianapolis, and his piece is from now on available through our website. The next thing I already told you about is a short interview with Bruce Salyers from Salyers Percussion, the mallets we are distributing for him in Europe. And he's talking about the Etude series, which is an affordable mallet series, and but sturdy and affordable. So please give a listen to Mr. Bruce Salyers about his Salyers Percussion Etude series. Thanks for being here today with our live launch where we're launching our new 2026 percussion ensemble pieces. And we invited you today to tell us something about the Etude series from Salyers. They must be developed quite a couple of years ago already because they've been in the program from the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, it was one of the first. It was included in in our first initial offerings back when we started Salyers Percussion. I wanted something that would be an extremely high value. Something that students could buy and their parents wouldn't balk at the price that it could, and then something that would last and be good for the student. No student's going to be successful playing on something that's not going to get them the sounds they need to produce and not going to feel well. So tried to check all the boxes with one series. Yeah, it really came down to the yarn quality. Is we didn't skimp on the yarn quality. We use a wool yarn with some nylon mixed in, whereas a lot of the what might be called like value series that have been on the market, traditionally they use a little cheaper yarn, because we do sell these at a much lower price point. But using a quality yarn really made the difference on those. And cord, just all the wrapping material has to be really good. The reason we can sell them at a little lower price point is that we design them to be manufactured very quickly.
The first question I had about the marimba mallets is that they come in 3 different of hardnesses, and do they all have the same core material, or is there something different inside each mallet?
Yeah, that's a good question. It is the same material, but it's in different hardnesses. So we don't have to do anything to alter the hardness of the core. There's no underlayments of latex or rubber or felt or rubber tube or anything. It's just we use 3 different cores, each one harder than the next. So that's part of what makes it easy for us to put together. It's just we have a nice rubber core for each model. In fact, I'll give away the secret here. When your hard marimba mallet, when eventually someday the yarn will wear down eventually, and underneath that is you'll find a black rubber core, which is the exact core that's on our rubber Etude series E70. So when your yarn comes off, you have an E70 mallet. So again, more value right there.
So recycling guaranteed.
Guaranteed, yeah. When the yarn comes off, do not throw it away. I mean, you can rewrap it yourself if you have that skill, or it makes a good set of rubber mallets. Yeah.
Of course, you have vibraphone mallets in the same series as well. Are these and they have like a different material? They have not yarn, but more cord wrap.
Yeah, it's a smaller, thinner material, and it's tighter wrapped on there. And it gives it much different articulation. Yarn mallets, you can, once the player is a little more experienced, you play a little lighter. You tend to play on what I call on top of the yarn before really pushing through and getting all that core contacts down. With the cord wrapped mallets, the material is thinner and tighter wrapped, so you get a really consistent articulation through all the dynamic ranges.
So we recorded a lot of more marimba mallet, vibraphone mallet, xylophone mallet talk, and maybe it's more for the mallet nerds, but there's more material, and I will share some more of this in the future. Some people call it nerd talk for percussionists, but okay. It's important to stay until the end, because then we're raffling off the mallet set of mallets Bruce gave us to give away during this launch. So far, Bruce Salyers on his on the marimba mallets and the vibraphone mallets on the Etude series from Salyers Percussion. And now we're going to have a very special piece that's going to be launched, because it's I've been to a small town near my hometown, Zwolle, last Wednesday to record this with percussion ensemble David from Oosterwolde, and they have been learning my arrangement of Gethsemane from the musical Jesus Christ Superstar. We've been recording it last Wednesday, and it was a one-taker. Please enjoy percussion ensemble David from Oosterwolde with Gethsemane. So, Frank, welcome to the show. We've just been listening to the recording of Gethsemane with your group. Are you happy with the results?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy. The group sounds good, I think, and the whole worked well with the reverb in the hall.
Yeah, we do.
nice.
I've just added a little bit of reverb and just EQ'd a little bit of more bass, so you'll hear the bass marimba really well. So I'm happy with the results as well. It was a great recording session, and not to mention that we just did it in one take.
It was a one taker, yeah.
Pretty awesome for those guys, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this piece doesn't demand the group's maximum technical skills, but why is it important for a mallet ensemble to program these kinds of pieces from time to time?
I think that's right. It's they can play much more difficult music, more technical. But I think in all other music pieces, there's often a quieter part, a hymn kind of, or a choral kind of middle part in bigger pieces, in contest pieces or something. So it's important train that to
That's what I thought as well, because in my opinion, it has something to do with being above the notes and having
yeah.
more room for build in some musicality.
It helps to get better in sound and balancing in your ensemble.
Yeah. We've also have been talking about the practice tracks and software I'm providing with all the new pieces. How can these tracks simplify the preparation process, and what impact can this have on your percussion ensemble rehearsals?
I think the bottom line is it saves a lot of time in rehearsal, and that benefits the end result. So I'm lucky enough to have a group who can sight read very fast because of the lessons they took before they joined. But when you have a part as a musician or an ensemble player and you don't exactly know what it says, or there's a rhythmicality difficult piece, you can hear what it says and you can see it and play it, so you can learn along the way.
A lot of people start laughing when I bring up my karaoke tracks. What would be the advantage for your weekly rehearsal if people could already start discovering their role in the ensemble at home? So do a lot of people of your ensemble own their own instrument, and what would be the advantage of this for them?
Yeah, I think time and the question marks they have when they're sight reading their own parts, you can take a lot of them away by listening to, that's what it says.
That was just a small part of the interview I had with Frank Ritsema, who's the conductor of the percussion ensemble David from Oosterwolde. He did a great job learning Gethsemane. The next piece is an arrangement of myself, and I'm pretty proud that I made this one. I'm pretty happy with the end result. It's a pretty famous piece from Stevie Wonder, and it's called Don't You Worry About a Thing. And the piece is written for a percussion ensemble, but has some optional horn parts for 2 trumpets, alto saxophone, and a trombone. But of course, you can play the piece without the horn section as well. Enjoy, Don't You Worry About a Thing. my arrangement of Don't You Worry About a Thing. I'm getting happy every time I hear the tune. Pretty excited about it. The next tune I want to introduce to you is a Christmas ensemble. Mostly I try to write a Christmas ensemble every year. This time I had the opportunity to work with the Denmark School District from, what was it again? Wisconsin, USA. They started studying on the piece a couple of weeks ago, but they had some problem with students. They skipped rehearsals and all that kind of stuff. So for now on, I have just a short audio file from the students from Wisconsin performing my Christmas percussion ensemble Christmas arrangement of Joyful Christmas Favorite. And when the audio from the ensemble is finished, I'll show you my score play video afterwards, immediately, of the whole piece. So enjoy Joyful Christmas Favorites. that was my Christmas medley for this this upcoming Christmas season, and it's called Joyful Christmas Favorites. And I think those are Christmas songs everybody knows and can sing along. So my colleagues who I've been interviewed told you a lot already about the practice tracks, solo tracks for all instruments, karaoke tracks for all instruments I'm providing with all these arrangements. And there's one more thing that's coming along with the solo practice tracks and the karaoke practice tracks, and that's some kind of software which is called Slowdown, which is called AudioStretch. And with AudioStretch, it's possible to slow down the practice tracks and even loop them if there's a specific part of the piece that's hard for one of the percussionists. You can set an A point and you can set a B point and loop the two measures or four measures as long as it's in their head. And I just want to show you a little bit about the software AudioStretch, and I've got it here on my other screen, and I'll share the screen with you. And this is how AudioStretch is working. It's an app, and it's available for Android and iOS, and it's a free downloadable app. With the only restriction is that it's free for each song which is less than 3 minutes, and if it's more you have to pay, but I think it's just a couple of dollars, so it's totally worth it. This is what AudioStretch does with our practice tracks. So you need to find the song on your phone, and then you just play the song as it is by pushing the play button. And then you can slow it down with the minus and the plus at the left bottom side, in the left bottom side of the screen. So slow it down, make it faster. And here you can set the A point as the starting point of a loop, and then you need to find the end of the loop. That will be probably the end of the loop. And then you can loop the section in between the A and the B. You can slow it down.
We hebben gekozen.
So that's basically what happens when you purchase one of the pieces, including the additional files. So then you're getting a, as I told you, the solo tracks are included from all individual parts in the piece. The karaoke tracks are included, and those are the tracks without the specific instrument. And of course this software AudioStretch is included. So what's next? You can keep on messing around like you did and waste rehearsal time not using all those great practice tools, and you can start using our innovative practice tools and save a lot of time and make your percussion ensemble rehearsals more efficient. I think number one is no option. And if you want to work with my music, here's my invitation. And I'm going to do you an offer. And after this offer, I'm going to raffle off the mallets from Salyers, the set of mallets from Salyers Percussion. And if you want to get started with my percussion ensemble music, what do you get exactly? I'm going to offer you 3 percussion ensemble pieces of your choice today, including the physical printed score, downloadable individual parts, so you can print as much parts as you need. Of course, the downloadable recording, a temporary downloadable score, so you can start right away after purchasing the piece. Of course, you're getting all the practice tracks for all individual parts, the practice software for all operating systems, and what would that normally cost if you're buying 3 pieces of your choice. As you can see, a normal piece is $65.50, and including the tracks and software of $17.95, it's $74.45 a piece. So if you're buying 3 pieces, it's almost to 25 in euros. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to add my concert percussion info guide. That's super useful guide with everything percussionists need to know about all different sorts of percussion instruments. I usually hand it out to new students who are interested in percussion, so they know what's possible within the range of percussion ensemble instruments. And I also a lot of times hand it out to students who are asking me if I have some good material, if they need to do a speech for school, if they wanted to do it about percussion or percussion ensemble instruments. That's a really cool guide for them to get the information for their speech. So today I'm going to offer this complete package for just 150 euros, and that's over 35% off. And if you want to take advantage of this offer, you can go to our website. You'll see the new short URL I created recently, cmm-eu.com/yes. And at this location, you can find everything about the offer, what's included, what's not included. And the offer is valuable till next, so not this Sunday, but the Sunday after this. If I'm not mistaken, that must be Sunday the 16th or the 15th. So the offer is available until then. So if you need new percussion ensemble music for your ensemble, you're getting 3 ensemble pieces for just 150 euros. That's more than 35% off, and that's including all the sheet music, all the tracks, and all the software. So that's my offer for today. And if you want to check it, you just can go to cmm-eu.com/yes. And now is the point that we're going to raffle off the mallets I promised you from Salyers Percussion. I've got a little box over here with everybody who signed up for this launch, and I hope the one I'm picking out is live online, because if he's not, I'm picking someone else, because that was the rule. If you want to have a chance to win the mallets from Salyers Percussion, you have to be registered. You have to be registered, and you have to be online live. So, rapapam, I forgot to prepare a drum roll, but this is okay. Here's the name. That's a pretty difficult name. Francesco Massana Guttard. Are you online? And if you are online, please leave a yes in the chat. If not, I'm going to find someone else I can make happy with a set of mallets from Salyers Percussion. I think I need another draw, because as Francesco did not react, so he's not online. So I'm going to make someone else happy with a complete set of Salyers mallets from the Etude series. And I wonder if Christophe Lemmens is present during the stream. Christophe Lemmens, I think he's from Belgium. Are you present at the stream, Christophe Lemmens? He signed up, but is he live? I think he's not, because there's no reaction. So let's give it another try. En ik heb hier, I do have Gerard van den Berg. Are you live online during the launch of our 2026 Percussion Ensemble publications? Gerard van den Berg, ben jij aanwezig? Man. Also not present, because I don't hear anything from you in the chat. Okay, now let's continue drawing, raffling someone else. Bea van Oene, are you online? Bea van Oene, ben jij online? Zou je even kunnen melden? Would you mind putting a short yes in the chat? Bea van Oene. It's going to be hard to get rid of my mallets. That's special. No Bea van Oene online. No reactions in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4 people already that weren't in the chat. I have here the name of Nico Steinen, and I think he's from Belgium. Nico, are you present during the launch? Yes, Nico. Congrats. Thanks for being here. Gefeliciteerd. Jij hebt, I'll show you your name. There you go. Jij hebt de set van mallets van Salyers Percussion gewonnen. Congrats on that, Nico Steinen. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Congrats. Okay, so I'd like to thank everybody who attended this live launch. First time doing this, so I was pretty excited to do it this way, because it's cool to show all the things that are new without hearing anybody. So that's a cool thing. We've got a couple of minutes. It's I think I did it pretty well. It's 2:30 now, so we're an hour underway for the chat. If there's anyone who has a question for me and in the Q&A, please let me know. If you think like I want to make use of the offer I did today of the €150 for the set of 3 pieces. And people asked me before, do I need to pick now what I want? No, you just decide that you're going to buy this offer. You can fill in all your information on a website and purchase this offer before Sunday in 2 weeks. So Sunday 16, I guess, or 15. I guess it's Sunday 15 in 2 weeks. And you have you have to make a choice that you're going to take advantage on this offer, and afterwards you can choose what pieces you wanted to go to play. So you don't have to choose that for now. You can do that later. You can take the time to browse our websites, what pieces you wanted to go to play, and tell me, and I'll make sure you're getting the pieces you wanted. Let me see if there are some other questions in the Q&A. Flora says, gefeliciteerd Dirkjan, heel erg bedankt. You're welcome. Thanks for your comments. Let me see. Yeah, Nico, congrats for winning the mallets. Ga nog eens op zoek. Okay, if there are any questions for me right at the moment, please let me know in the chat and I'll answer those for you. And if there are no further questions, that's also no problem. That means that I did a good job on my presentation and that everything's clear. And just go to our website. I'll put the link in the chat as well, so you can just click on it and find the right URL on our website to take advantage of the launch offer I'm offering today. And I will send you the link in the as an email as well to all the people who attended the launch today. Oké, Lydia, dat is misschien nog wel eventjes iets om later op terug te komen. Daar kan ik je nog wel wat meer over vertellen. Maar bedankt voor je vraag, dat is een leuke vraag. Geen ervaring met Salyers mallets, marching bells met resonatoren en klinkt al gauw te hard. Daar vinden we vast wat voor. And yes, so if there are no further questions, maybe there's someone who wants to hear one of the new songs again. I can do that. That's no problem. But if there are no questions, I'd like to thank you for being here today. And I had a great time because it was fun to present the new publications on a special way, on a live stream on YouTube. Thanks for attending, and if you have some other questions about the offer I just did, or about the mallets we've been talking about, or other percussion related things, I think everybody knows how to find me, knows my email address, and I'll answer your questions. That's no problem. Okay, everybody, thanks a lot for attending, and I hope you had a lot of fun, and we'll see each other next time. And thanks a lot for being here today during the launch of our 2026 new percussion ensemble publications. Bye bye.